This is Carrie Johnson with the Iowa Department of Management, and this is part one of six to provide those individuals in the county auditor's office or the county auditor with an overview of the local government finance and valuation system process to upload valuations for the 2023 valuation year. And this first segment is really sort of an introduction to familiarize you with the system. A few notes regarding the application itself. You will be using the same Department of Management web-based application as before. So it is one portal where the county submits their valuations as well as budget, annual financial report, and any budget amendments. The same type of information is uploaded. So it is a .dat file that your local software would generate, as in previous years. It is information by tax district in a variety of different classes and 100% untaxable, and that is the same as before. There is one addition to your file this year. It is a schools only flag, which we'll talk about a little bit later in the presentation information. But for this year, for the 2023 valuation year, your system will automatically populate that field with an N, and there's really nothing else that you need to do because this piece of the application, it won't be used for a couple assessment years. We're just kind of readying the system to be able to accept it in the future. And the application does accept both 5 and 6-digit state tax district numbers. Some of the larger counties are or will be approaching that 6-digit field. So we do allow the acceptance of both 5 and 6-digit state tax district numbers. Again, the valuation system is an online system, and county auditors have authority to access the system. We use an enterprise A&A account process to provide individuals with access to their individual counties to submit data. And you can certainly contact me and let me know if there are individuals in the county auditor's office that need access to the system, as they would be the ones submitting the data. So just send me an email if you have someone that's new and they need an Enterprise A&E account and they need access, and I will provide assistance to get them there. We do recommend using the latest version of Google Chrome as the preferred web browser to operate the application. Would not suggest using Internet Explorer or any outdated versions of Google Chrome or any other browser. That is sort of an invitation for problems, is what we found. So one of the things you should have received is a email from me with a instruction document, just letting you know that the system is open for the 2023 valuation year. And you can access these instructions within the application itself as well. But, or just email me if you aren't finding this document. It is a PDF document, and it is an instruction document that I highly recommend you review. There are a few changes for the 2023 year. The property valuation system, again, it's an online system. If you don't have it bookmarked, if you're new or you're not sure where to go, you would go to what we call the county resource page, which is dom.iowa.gov/counties. And if you scroll down just a little bit, you'll see county budget resources. Underneath that, you will see the local budget valuation and AFR system, which is, our sort of one-stop shop for all the things that counties need to do with us. And there is a button to access the system. So you click there, and it will pull up the blue, very familiar if you've been working in this system before, very familiar blue box, which is where you enter your Enterprise A&A account ID and password. So that's where you go to sign in. And again, if you need access, I can send you some detailed instructions on how to get that. So once you log into the system, I'll give you a quick look as far as what the screen appears, and that's not changed from prior years if you've done this before. What you will see once you're logged in is a few of the administrative functions under this category. So, what are my levy authorities? What are my tax districts? What are my TIF areas, TIF area revenue, and county totals? And we'll discuss all these here in a minute. Also, program data, where do you file and unfile your data when you actually have, that data to put into the system, and as well as some tools, rollback worksheet, and an error check function where you can check your errors, and then again importing the data file. And this is just kind of a closer look here. You can see things are categorized. So if you go to this screen and you see these categories are collapsed, be sure to just click on that little arrow button and you'll see them expand, and that will help you find what you need. You do need to refresh the screen. Okay, so the system will time you out after a certain amount of time that you're logged in. I believe it's about an hour. It gives you a warning, which is what you're going to see down here. And so when you see this warning, be sure to click right on that renew, and it will renew your session and give you that, additional hour to work in the system. So you're not logged out and, lose any of your work that you've done. So just, be mindful of that. And when you see this yellow bar pop up, be sure to renew the system. I as well have been caught in that. So just kind of, once you see it, don't disregard it for too long. You need to go ahead, renew it, and then you're good to go for a while. Okay, so if we were working down that left-hand navigation, we see the category of levy authorities, and of course, these are the entities, the governmental entities within your county that are authorized to levy taxes, or in some cases not, but that you're going to do budgets for, right? So what we see here is the levy authority code, which is a state code that we have provided to the different levy authorities, their name, the county, of course, that they're in, suffix, which is just a part of the number of their actual code itself, TIF, yes or no, which is actually just going to be a T for those that are the TIF levy authority, and then a variety of different actions. Now, I will tell you, as a county auditor, you can view your levy authorities, but you can't make changes to them. So if you have a levy authority that needs to be deleted, say you had a city discontinue, so we need to get rid of that city in the system, or you had one that was added, so you have some new township splits, which we can talk about later. You're going to have to let me know, and I will create or delete or edit a levy authority for you in the system, and we'll get there, but it's not something that you can do yourself. You can view them, and you can also view their taxable value. So if we would view a levy authority, this is what we'd see, just the detailed information for that levy authority that I already went over. But once tax rates are generated and finalized and certified, then we would see their tax rate for the year also appear under that levy authority. So just an FYI, if you ever want a quick way to view what someone's tax rate is, you can go into that screen, view the levy authority, scroll down and see what their tax rate is. Now, in this case, obviously, we're looking at the 2023 data, so there's no tax rate in there yet. Okay, also with levy authorities, as I mentioned, you can look at that dollar sign, which is just going to tell us their taxable values. So it's just sort of a little summary piece where you can pull up and see what the taxable value is for that levy authority within your county. So not in total if there are multiple counties, but within your county. And you can also see their assigned tax districts. So again, just a way to view some information. It's not anything that you can edit, but you can certainly take a look at it if you're wanting a quick peek at some levy authority information. So working our way down the left-hand navigation, we see our tax districts, and this is going to show for you each and every tax district within your county. It does provide the number. This would be the state tax district number, the name, county, property type, so rural or urban, yes or no if it's a TIF, and then there's a variety of actions that could be taken with that tax district. And these are things that you, as with County Auditor Access, can do. And I did kind of highlight these here because you can filter for a specific tax district number or name if you know a particular tax district you want to work with. So again, on that screen, if we look over to the far right, we see a variety of actions. And this is what we're looking at here. We're looking at an edit. We're looking at this green branch, which is modifying tax district to levy authority relationships, and then a red trash can, which of course means delete. Okay, so moving down again, we see our TIF areas. These are the TIF areas that have been created within your county that exist currently. You can add a TIF area, you can consolidate TIF areas, you can go into a TIF area and add new tax districts to it. There's a variety of different actions you can take, and I do cover that more completely in the set of presentations that cover, working with TIF in the system. And so, if you have TIF specific questions, those would be the videos that I'd suggest you take a look at. TIF area revenue. Again, this is just where the system, if it has one, will populate the current year's estimated net consolidated tax rates for any of your existing TIF increment districts. Now, if you have something that's new, you would need to go ahead and add that to the system. And again, I cover those TIF related items more completely in the other set of videos. County totals. What the county totals does is just provide you, once you've uploaded your data, a quick view of the totals you have by class, 100% in taxable. We have by, non-TIF totals, the increment itself, and then the totals if we add together non-TIF and TIF, right? So there's 3 tabs there. You can open them. You can open this document and download it. You can print it, what have you. It's just, again, a summary of the totals for your county. You can also pull down an all counties option once all counties are filed. Then you can see totals per state. Okay, filing and unfiling data. So once you're at the point where you feel you're ready to have the data populate in our budget system for all the levy authorities to use, and also in turn have it available to the public on the public facing side of our website, then you would file the data. And again, it makes it available to the public, and it pulls it into our budget software side of the system. If at any point you need to make a correction, you would go in, unfile your data, make your correction, and then file data again to make it final. The rollback worksheet is another tool, and this just once you have your data all submitted, this is something to take a look at. It's going to do some totals for you, your total 100% value that you have submitted with your upload, what the rollback percentages are for the assessment year, and then it's going to produce, using this percentage and the total 100% value, it's going to produce a taxable value, and then it's going to compare that to the taxable value from the database. So, it's going to take a look at that and see what that looks like, and then it's going to say over here if there's a produced difference over or under. And so, if you've got some red over here, you want to take a look at that. Now, certainly a 3-digit number when we're talking about a billion in taxable value or 100% value, that's not necessarily an issue, but you just kind of want to be aware of any large numbers over here. I guess my rule of thumb is definitely a 2-digit difference. Don't worry about it. It's probably due to rounding. If we get into 3 digits, if we're in the lower 3 digits, it's again, if we're looking at large values like what we have for residential, it may not be an issue, but Just maybe take that into consideration. Certainly have a conversation with me if you'd like to. But it's just kind of a heads up, right? This is what the rollback worksheet is intended to do. It's intended to it's intended to help you realize if there's, maybe something going on with your data that we would not expect. Now, I will tell you what you'll see here under commercial and industrial, and also you'd see this for railroad, is that we're not doing any sort of comparison calculation here because of the two-tier rollback. We're not able to do that. So there is no comparison or calculation being done for those classes. Error check, of course, is a good and important tool to do. You want to run the errors check once you feel like your data is in a good, solid place. And then if you see anything in red, then you'll know that it's an error and it's a problem. You're going to have to take a look at it and fix it. If you see a yellow, it's basically just a warning. It's a, hey, you might need to take a look at this. Just again, kind of one of those heads up situations. So in these examples, you are required currently with your data to submit your homestead numbers. So this is an error that we're seeing because we're saying that in this particular file there were no homestead values. And then here, the warning is a 0 frozen base amount that was submitted on some TIFF bases, which this could be legitimate. It could be a situation where the frozen base value is indeed 0, or it could be a situation where maybe the TIF hasn't actually been kicked off yet, and so it's in a holding pattern, and there's nothing to calculate as far as base and increment value. So again, yellow, it's not going to prevent you from filing your data. It's a heads up. Red will prevent you from filing your data. Of course, importing the DAT file is the last thing we see over here. That's an action under this system, and then that would be importing the DAT file. So that's actually going through the process of importing the file. Below that, you will see some search options and valuation reports. So valuation reports are what we'd take a look at if we're talking about the valuation system, of course. And there's a variety of different reports that you can access. As a county auditor logged into the system, you can access a few more reports than what are available to the public. So just kind of be aware of that. And you can access them via either a PDF, so the red, or a green CSV file that you can import into Excel and manipulate the data. The reports themselves, it depends on the kind of report you're looking at. Some are by county, some are by individual levy authority, but this is just an example of an individual levy authority report. You would select the year, and we are talking about the assessment year. So if we were running a report for 2023, we would select 2023 in this option. LA type is your levy authority type. You'd select that from the drop down. And then the formatted levy authority code is just, which actual county are we talking about? And then we'd select OK. You will be informed with a green bar that the report is being generated. Once it's actually generated, you see the download option, and you would click on that download to download the report to your desktop or your system. Again, there are help options. This is just listing the variety of different instructional documents that are available, but you will see their valuation instructions that I mentioned earlier are available under the help option. So we talked about the system itself and kind of how you navigate around, what's available under what, that sort of thing. But before we're even getting to the step of working in the DOM system, there's things that you're going to be doing locally. So before you're uploading any data to the Department of Management online system, there's certain things that you need to take care of, and the first being levy authority changes. We'll talk about that and some examples of those. TIF debt reconciliation, adding and deleting taxing districts, and creating and deleting TIF areas. So, levy authority changes, and I alluded to this earlier. Only DOM can make levy authority changes or changes to existing levy authorities. So, name changes. So, say a township changed their name slightly, and I've had that happen before. Or the more common one is school name changes. Those happen quite a bit. Um, so those would be examples of some edits to existing levy authorities, or a fire district, a township fire split was receiving service from one city, but now they're receiving service from another city. So we need to change the name of that fire split, things of that nature. But before you're actually working in the system, uploading any data, anything like that, let's take care of these levy authority changes and get those ready. And a SMID, I guess that would be another example of a change that could be made that we see often. So in the instructions, you see a list of the levy authorities that we have in the state, and there's quite a list. We've got our Polk County, we've got assessors, both city and county, depends on your local situation, community colleges, cities, townships, and a variety of smaller types of levy authorities that you'd see, such as a sanitary sewer district or a benefited fire, etc. So, just depending on your specific county, there may be a variety of different levy authorities that you have. So again, township splits for purposes of fire service are the most common, probably levy authority change we see in a year. There could be new levy authorities that's happened before, name changes, as I referenced, and deletions. Primarily, this would be when a city would discontinue. And we actually have had a township discontinue as well. So, new levy authorities need to be associated with the correct taxing districts. So, that's an important step that will need to be taken whenever you have a new levy authority that you're adding. So, again, you're going to need to work with me to get that levy authority added into the system, and I can certainly, discuss this in greater detail with you if you have a new levy authority. So we talked about changes to levy authorities. The next thing you want to make sure that is taken, that is handled before you work in the system is your TIF debt certification. Certification of TIF debt is due to the county by December 1. So then the county goes on and completes the TIF reconciliation forms after that certification of debt and sends those back out to the TIF authorities. This is a very important communication process that happens between the county and their TIF users, their TIF levy authorities within the county. So it's, a back and forth communication. So both parties understand for the next fiscal year what debt needs to be serviced. It's very important that the county has that information because it's required for them to be able to make sure the valuations are set up in a manner that will generate the TIF revenue that is being requested to service the debt in the next fiscal year. And if you're looking for the reconciliation forms, you can go to dom.iowa.gov/counties and you'll see them under TIF reconciliation forms. And this is just what they look like. It is an Excel form. If you're new to working in this process, your county probably has had these very same similar forms over the past number of years. So you might want to review your files and find those forms. But it is, again, a very important part of the communication process between those TIF authorities and the county, because the county is responsible for making sure that that debt is serviced in the next fiscal year. When we're all completed with our process, please keep in mind the due date. Property valuations are due to the Department of Management and to all levy authorities by January 1. And primarily, you're delivering that to your levy authorities by making it available on our system. Of course, you would want to let them know once you are filed and complete within the system, but it, uh, it depends on your county whether or not you send them out an actual physical copy of their valuations. You might be doing that for some folks that are less likely to be using the online system, maybe some townships, things like that. But either way, by January 1, you want to be communicating to your levy authorities and submitting to Department of Management your valuations for the 2023 year. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. I am available both by phone and by email. Thank you very much.